Hey, great Selling Saturday, everyone. How are you? Cesar Mascoro Jr. with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery in with you on this Selling Saturday, the 16th of March. And I am coming to you live from up in Tyler, Texas. Made the drive up here after the Sales Supercharged Summit yesterday. I want to say that we had online. That was a great event, man. We had people from Florida, Ohio, Arizona, Michigan, Texas, all tuned in live on the Sales Supercharged Summit. And then we've got some from South Carolina as well. Several people that we're going to catch the recording because it was a Friday. I know you guys got to work, and that's why we do the recording as well, so that we can offer that to you and you can take advantage of that. But anyway, it's Selling Saturday. I'm in here in Tyler, Texas with the great folks over at Mobile Home Masters, and want to come in like we do each and every day on our 15 Minutes to Mastery, 8:15 Central Standard Time. And we start off with some information, a little quote from somebody that something that may apply well to us in life and in business, right? Because we know manufactured home sales comes at you hard each and every day. And so we want to make sure we get you started on the right foot. But check this out. Our quote today comes from Steve Jobs. And think what you will of Steve Jobs, great guy, tyrant, whatever it is, man, you can't deny the fact that he was a great leader, okay? Was he flawed? Yes, we all are. We all are, but built a great company his second time around. Don't forget, the guy got let go, got fired by his own board, then got asked to come back. So check this out. He says, get closer than ever to your customer, so close, in fact, that you tell them what they need well before they realize it themselves. I love this. I love this. Get closer than ever to your customers, so close, in fact, that you tell them what they need well before they realize it themselves. If there was ever a quote that applied to what it is that we do in manufactured home sales, it's this one right here. Because we all know that we're here to solve problems, right? Well, at least I hope you do. I hope you realize that your career in manufactured home sales is about solving people's housing problems, their housing needs. It's not about selling a home, right? You sell the home because you solve the problem, plain and simple. However, what we got to realize, there's different aspects to this, right? And right off the bat, the most important thing that we need to keep in mind is the fact that we affect people's lives. We affect change in people's lives. We're changing their lifestyle. We're changing their living situation. We're disrupting what has been comfortable for them over the last few months, few years, however long they've been living where they're living in whatever situation they're in. You're coming in and changing that at their request, right? In other words, they're reaching out to you because they saw an ad. They're reaching out to you because they want to find out about a house. They're reaching out to you to find out if they can buy a home, which you're disrupting their life. So in doing so, we need to make sure that we're taking that responsibility very, very seriously. And that we handle our business the way that we should, right? And so knowing that then means that we understand the fact that we are problem solvers, right? And we're going to talk about that here shortly. But in the fact that we affect people's lives, we come in and disrupt their current living situation, we need to make sure that we set the proper expectations. So one of the things that we were talking about yesterday during the summit was making sure that we're setting the right expectations every step of the way, right? How do you do that? Well, let's say when people are responding to your ad and you're setting an appointment, you got to make sure that you set the right expectations as far as what they need to bring with them, when they're going to meet you, where they're going to meet you at, and what to expect when they come in. At the same time, once they come in, you're setting the right expectations of what is about to happen while they're here, so that they're not coming into your office, sitting down, and then expecting that they're going to go right back out and look at homes. Understand that there is a system in place, a process in place, right? And then setting the right expectations if you do end up getting the business, the right expectations of what's about to happen, what they should expect of you, and what you expect of them as well. So we have to make sure that is taking that responsibility of affecting people's lives very, very seriously, making sure that everyone understands their own expectations and what you expect of them. So from there, you move on to, well, we're doing all of this, and we've got to make sure that we are able to then prescribe the right medication, right? And the right, what I mean by that is we're helping them out in selecting the right home that's going to solve the problem for them. And in doing that, okay, one thing that you've got to keep in mind, and we talk a lot about the psychology of manufactured home sales. We talk about the psychology of the buyer. And here's the thing. Deep down inside, emotionally, there is something that is driving this particular person, whomever it is that's sitting in front of you, contacting you on the phone, no matter how it is, something is emotionally driving them to reach out to you, whether it's for themselves, for a family member, or maybe it's even just a recreational purpose, right? A secondary house, a vacation house, or whatever it may be, a home on their hunting lease. There's some sort of because even that is an emotional need. Why is it an emotional need? Because that's their place of recreation, right? So they're buying something for their lease because it makes them feel good. It's still emotionally tied. It may not be a huge necessity, but it's emotionally tied. It's emotionally driven. So you have to understand that when buyers come in, a lot of times what happens is they know that they're looking to buy a home, but they don't focus on what the problem is that they've got going on. Why is that? Think about it. When most of us have a problem going on in our life or in our business, not everybody tackles it head on, right? A lot of people try to skirt around it, avoid it, whatever it may be. You got to make that phone call, and you're dreading making that phone call, and you put it off. All right. If you've got financial issues, you're not wanting to look at the bank account because there's no money in there. We're avoiding those things. So same thing with our buyers. They're coming in with the hopes and wants and desires and wanting to feel that excitement of purchasing a home, but they're ignoring the problem. They know they have the problem. They know that the lease is about to end. They know that they're about to get kicked out because the landlord sold the home. They know that the apartment is roach infested. They know that they've got bad neighbors. They know that their kids are in a bad neighborhood and they want to get them out. They know all of those things, but they forget about it. They push it out, just like what we tend to do as humans in avoiding the problem, rather than tackle it head on. So to Steve Jobs' point of being able to provide the solution well before your client knows. Okay. It's because when we're speaking to them on the phone and in person, we're listening, actively listening. We have to master being active listeners, so that we can pick certain things out of the conversation that point to the true need, to the true reason. And when you can do that, now you're able to help that person understand that you understand their situation. A lot of times they avoid it. One, because they don't want to deal with it. Two, because they don't want other people knowing about it. And they still will drop hints to it in conversation, as long as you're having conversation, as long as you're asking the right questions and you're digging deep enough into those questions. I'll give you an example. Like yesterday, we were doing some role playing on the phone portion of our training that we did yesterday. And big thank you to Tess from Homeline Forever in Florida for taking part. Man, you were awesome. Tess participated a lot yesterday. The whole crew from there. If you guys do watch this today at some point in time, Gabe, Tess, I think it was Trisha and Deja. Man, you guys are a great group out there. And Brian Lawrence, you should be proud of your folks, man. They did well yesterday in the class. That's for sure. So anyways, we were role playing and I was the salesperson, and she was calling into the office, right? And she had told me she was calling in on a 4-bedroom home that she saw on the website. We get into it. And then as we do in our training, I'm asking who's living in the house, and she tells me that it's her and her aunt. And that was it, just them two. And we get into some more conversation, but that stood out to me, right? Because at that point I asked, you know, uh, because that home that she was asking about was a 4-bedroom. So I didn't bring it up right away, made a little more conversation, but then to come back to it. And I said, and I say, hey, so it's you and your aunt, or so you would be okay then with a 2 or 3-bedroom, correct? You don't necessarily need a 4-bedroom if you're also trying to cut back on your monthly expense from the $1,800 you're paying per month in rent. And I bring that up because so many times we're listening, but we're not paying attention, and we're not trying to pick out the little things. Because why would 2 adult women need a 4-bedroom home when there's no children, there's no grandchildren, it's just both of them. They were living in an apartment, in a 2-bedroom apartment, paying X amount and trying to go lower. And so that's that active listening that I'm talking about. And that's what Steve Jobs was referring to is you can pick out those little things and then present a better solution for them, a better option for them, so that they can make a decision based on what you're telling them. So that's that active listening, right? That we're talking about. Don't just get your interview sheet here, right? And start writing stuff down and just be listening, and whatever answer they give you, that's it. You just write it down and you're moving on. You've got to be paying attention to what they're actually saying, because in there you'll find the answers. You'll find the true situation that's going on, where you can then provide that answer well before they understand what the answer is, right? Such as looking at a 4-bedroom when they really only need a 2 or 3. Now you can present that, and you're that consultant, you're that professional, you're that person that is being able to provide them that solution to help them, and always doing it in their best interest. And so that's what we've got to keep in mind, the responsibility we have in affecting people's lives, and then the active listening that we must be engaged in the whole time, from the moment they get on the phones to when they come into the office, through the whole process, because you are a problem solver. At the end of the day, that's what you're a practical psychologist. You're listening to these people. You're trying to figure out how you can best serve them. And if you can do that, if you can keep that in mind, as opposed to just trying to figure out how can I wheel and deal, how am I going to get this deal, and how am I going to, what's it going to take to be able to make them, make the decision. What takes them to make the decision is to come across in a very sincere, professional manner, that you understand their situation, that you've got the solution to their problem, and that you're going to be that person that's going to help them accomplish that. That, my friends, is what's going to make a huge impact. And that is why you get paid the big bucks, as Louis Anderson said in Coming to America, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check that out. Anyway, you guys get out there, solve some problems today, this Selling Saturday. Make it a great Selling Saturday. Sell a ton, because that means you're helping so many more families do this. And man, it's going to be a great day. All right. If you didn't get to see, I should have had this thing scrolling the whole time, man. I got to get better at this. If you didn't get to see live the Sales Supercharged Summit yesterday, that's okay. You can get the recording. You can get the workbook that comes with it. You can go online to manufacturedhomesalesmastery.com/products list, where we have it up now, where you can go ahead and get it ordered for yourself, and you can watch this at home in your office, study it, reach out, and we'll go over points if there's some things that you just didn't capture, maybe some things that you'd like some extra help with. We can definitely help out there. But go check that out. Go get it ordered, get it downloaded today. And what we're also going to do is, that's got the live version of it. We're going to re-record this thing in studio to give you a cleaner version with it, a much more, without the interaction of everyone that was participating as well. And that way you've got that, and you'll have the live. You'll have both. Okay, but for right now, you can get started with the live because the workbook is in there, and that way you can take. It was about 5.5 hours worth of training that we did yesterday. All right, it was awesome. I'm so excited about it, and we're just going to keep building from here on that type of training as well, because it was a great group of people that participated in this, and definitely took some nuggets out of it that they're going to apply in their career to advance and take their whole business, their career, their life to the whole another level, because that's what we're here for. You guys have a great Selling Saturday. We'll be talking soon. I'll be back in here tomorrow morning at 8:15. And until then, I can't wait to meet you.